I'm sure you've heard the commercial, and hopefully you thought it was funny. It was meant to be that way. The Wedding Cast podcast is something that I think is special. My little sister, Taryn, she asked me to walk her down the aisle. We're not blood, but we have a history. That means the world to me that I was offered that, and I was able to do that for her. I'm just happy she asked me to do it. The podcast, the wedding cast, it's just something extra we did. We kind of did it on a whim, and then I realized that, I wish I would have had the opportunity to do that for my wedding. My wedding was a long, long time ago, it feels like. But in the end, I wish I would have been able to have the recordings, to go back and listen to the groomsmen, the bridesmaids. I wish I could have been able to look in my wife's eyes and talk to her and then see what we feel then versus now. Plus, you want to make sure we're still on track. At the end of the day, we're going to have fun with anything we do on this podcast, and why not have fun with the wedding? This is the groomsmen. We had a little get together, and this is what happened. My boy Rocky, his mom cooked some Indian tacos. If you know anything about where I come from, Indian tacos are a delicacy. And Rocky's mom, Shelly, she killed it that day. And we got to record to see what these groomsmen, and a few extra wanted to talk about. Like I said, I wish I could have did it. The groomsmen that I had at the time was all good dudes. But most importantly, I would like to go back and listen to the guy I call my little brother. Listen to him. Just see what we was joking about, talking about during that time period. The shit he was giving me or vice versa. That's what this is about. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you like it. God bless. Let's have a little fun.
Easy. So before this starts, do we got enough alcohol to satisfy us?
I'm leaving in 30 minutes.
Right. This night, luckily, Sidney's wife-to-be is pretty cool.
Everything's like over there.
When I walked in, she's like, y'all gonna be a shit show tonight, huh? And I said, probably so. And she's like, well, good thing I'm used to it.
Well, my wife was telling me, she said, well, I was like, hey, Shot, I didn't, I'm taking off at lunch, and we're going out all day here. We got reception, we got dinner, and she's like, you can ask me and all the other wives. We're fucking tired of it.
Hey, hold on, be quiet real quick.
Hold on, dirty.
All right, if you want to go first, raise your hand. Okay.
I'll go first.
Rocky wants to go first. All right. So we'll pass this around. So Rocky, I've known you for a minute. I've known them for a minute. When's the first time you met Sid, and what was your first impression of him?
Well, when I met Sid, I think he was probably early teens.
How about Langston's age?
He was still going. No, it was a little bit before that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you came to see your family in Gary.
I agree. But I was down there every summer.
To be honest with you,
making my name.
Sidney shows up. He's in town from Woodward, and he's a little bit different than the rest of his family.
You wore Abercrombie.
He was soft. Yeah. No, like
he looked more Rapaho.
Well, to be honest with you,
he's Rapaho.
He seemed a little soft. I didn't know if he was gonna make it in Gary, because Gary can get rough at times. I wasn't sure about him the first time we met. At that time, it seemed like he was a lot younger than me, but he really wasn't. But
I'm not gonna lie, I'll second what Rocky said, because when he pulled up that day, he had this little red S10, and he pulled up, and everybody was like, oh yeah, that's Rock, man.
Yeah,
that's Rock. And he pulled up, and everybody's talking. My cousin Chris, Theodore, they're all talking, and I'm sitting there. I was balling on him out there. I was crossing fools up. I was pulling up.
S10s were in back then.
And we're out there, and they're all talking to Rocky. I'm like, hey man, what's up? Yeah, I'm Sidney. He just kind of looked, didn't really say much, and I was like, oh, this guy's a fucking freak. And that's how the first time went down when me and Rock met each other. Like you said, I was probably early teens, 12, 13 years old, still beating up on my old cousins. Still. To this day.
Well, Devin, you're next, brother.
Mine and Sid's stories, we go back way back because we were so young when we got incorporated, and I come from a single.
Well, it starts out with, let's start with your mom, because your mom and my mom are about the same age, so they grew up together.
My generation and Sidney's generation, he's actually a generation older than I am.
Devin's mom and me were first cousins.
First cousins.
Devin's actually, he drops down from the tree.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm a generation younger than Sidney, actually. And his mom and my mom were so close to cousins that our moms had kids the same age. And so when me and Sidney was growing up, we were 4 or 5 years old, running around rampant, and we thought we were brothers, you know, because we were only 2 years difference. We didn't know his generation apart, but we were raised like brothers from, you know, 4 or 5 years old. And every summer, Sidney would get to come down, and every time Sidney got to come down, he was allowed. He could come to our house, you know, and vice versa. I could go to Sidney's house, and he always lived in Woodward, so we had to always plan our shit out, man.
Shout out to the boomers.
When Sidney got to come down or I got to go up there, it was just huge. We knew it happened one time a year, whether it was him got to stay at my house or I got to stay at his house. It was huge because we knew we had that one time a year.
Tell him about the first time he stayed with us when we lived out there by the river, and you talk about the skunk.
Yeah.
AKA that's
So I got to go up. This is my first time that I got to go up to Sid's house, and Sid's dad. This might be a red light. I don't know. But
Now, go ahead with it.
okay, so Sid's stepdad was he was a mule. So that's what Sid's everyday life was, being a mule kid. And so I got to go spend a few weeks up with Sid, and I get to his house and it's bedtime, and I said, "God damn, Sidney, your fucking house is infested with skunks or something. It fucking stinks up here, bro." And but before we got to go home, his mom and stepdad, they took us on a little shopping trip and shit. We had brand new NWO. That's when Sting. NWO. Goldberg, Sting. That's when them boys was hot.
Red or
And
white?
so his
Red or white?
yeah. His parents,
All day long.
his parents took us on a shopping spree. I guess we had a load with us or something. I don't know. But they took us on this shopping spree, I guess, so we'd shut up. But we got home that night. We was going through our fucking new NWO merchandise. We got up in Sid's bunk beds, and I said, "Damn, Sidney, your house fucking
Skunk.
stinks."
They run by the river, don't they? I said, actually, just shut up. Just shut up.
She said, "Just go to sleep." He just told me, "Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
talking too much.
Go to sleep. Don't ask no
It's
questions."
only going to go down from here. Shut up.
And it wasn't 10 years later before I found out we was trafficking weed. This stepdad was a mule. But anyway, we've become, you know, we grew up as close cousins, a whole generation apart, but we were raised up as like fucking brothers.
Man, we'd have had so much to talk about, bro. Why didn't you tell me this story?
Okay, that was my first time.
Hey, I
So,
see some hot shit, man.
Hey, also, anything you want to say about Terrence, say it now. I can split it up. Have two.
Man, I got one. And I just asked Taryn this earlier. I had to ask her how long they'd been together. Growing up, I've known Taryn
her whole life.
basically her whole life. You know, she might have been in kindergarten or something when I met
You
her family and stuff.
You and her big sister were classmates, right?
Yeah, we graduated together. And at one time in high school, Sidney had actually lived there. Him and Seth were her brother. You know, a great guy. You know, one of our best friends. Wish he was here right now. But they were really tight. And Sidney lived with them, you know. So I had to ask her how long they had been together. And I asked her, you know, so had y'all hooked up before when y'all were still in school? Or did it happen afterwards, you know, after his first son and stuff?
It's a secret I'll never tell.
It's something that she didn't answer either. She told me I was stupid. But in reality, you know, I feel like they've been together. It's probably been 15 years that they've been together, but it feels like they've been together since they were kids.
20
like,
years,
yeah, like high school sweethearts. Like he never had anybody else.
Sidney been beating up
Bulls for Darren. It wasn't even his girl.
What happened?
I'm pretty sure I've been together for a lot longer than anybody knew, bro.
Yeah, Langston he wasn't quite one yet. He was
Langston was almost
about
one.
7, 8 months when she.
House on the
We'll get
highway.
into that a little bit when Taryn gets in here and talks about it. But Langston was a baby, man, and I was working 7 on, 7 off. You know, Langston's mom, she had her life. We didn't really have a schedule. We'd pass it back and forth, and he would stay at our house. And I'd be like, Taryn, it's time to have him. Like, hell, she was still in high school, actually. I would red light that, but now listen.
No, fuck the red light on that.
Terry said, you know what? I can change diapers.
She learned real fast. The only red light we're going to is the district.
She said for that clapping noise, we'll do what we gotta do. But she literally was. And I had a house right there on the highway in Gary. Langston was, like I said, 7, 8 months, maybe. He wasn't even a year yet. And Taryn was in high school. She had a job out of Love's on I-40. And when I would go on days on, she would keep him and fucking juggle it. She'd move him around where he needed to be.
Amen.
And she took care of Langston when she didn't have to take care of Langston. And,
yeah. Amen.
he's sitting right here next to us right now, and that's one of the stories he may or may not have never heard is, she sacrificed a lot as a kid herself to be with me to make sure Langston was taken care of.
Langston, tell us what you think about her.
And man, she does so much for the boy that he doesn't know. She's been doing it for so long that there's no other word besides mom for him to call her, because that's what she's been on her since she was still in high school. She was doing fucking math homework while she was changing a baby's diaper. A crybaby at that. I mean, she did cry.
Hey, Langston, tell us something real quick about Taryn.
I see shit ain't changed.
Real quick. Now, it's going to come back around to you, but just give us something.
No,
real quick.
I'll put it all when it comes back to me.
Let him do it whenever it comes.
Okay, it's going to come back around to him.
We're thinking about it.
I'm gonna throw something out there. At the end of the day, Langston will not call his dad for something. He will call Taryn when he needs something because he knows she's going to salvage him more than his dad.
We ain't gonna point fingers, but hey, you had something to say?
I was gonna say, we all go to Taryn. We don't go to him for anything.
It's been a long time since Dirty Dave's been beat up, obviously. Ray's got to bounce here quick.
Oh, well, how I got to Sidney was my son started playing Little League football. And then he asked to say a night at one of his little teammates' house, I'm not trying to be a bad dad, let the kid go. So he gets
Ray
over
shot
there.
you lucky.
You know what I mean? Me and the wife get a little one-on-one time. It's gonna work out for both of us. But
I got eyes on
we start getting pictures and stuff. My kid's sitting in front of a cop car, lights blaring. I'm like, hold up, where'd Kobe go?
Did they get pulled over on the way back to his house?
He's sending back messages. Yeah, we got to sit in the cell, eat sandwiches. We got jail was cool.
Juice box, cookies.
I'm like, hey, so whose house you go to? We went to Coach Sidney's. He's a cop. I said, Beth, what'd you do?
Ray said, I smoke weed.
I said, you know what we got growing in his house?
You sent this motherfucker to a goddamn federal cop's house.
It was crazy. My son said he had a blast. Sidney showed him the jail cell. I don't know if he
We didn't go all the way in. We didn't shut the door behind.
We didn't do fingerprints as I know of, but
2 out of 3 of them are minorities, my kid included, and I was like, man, this white kid I think is actually the worst one. If I had to take my bets on who was going to jail first, the white woman probably.
That's my story and how I got to know
that
Sidney.
night, the jailer, I took him in there, and she's one of the best women that I've ever met through that PD, and it's Belinda. She's badass, isn't she?
Who's that?
Belinda. Oh, you don't know Belinda. And she's always been so damn nice to me, and she was super nice to the boys. She gave them all jail food, and they were so happy about it. And they were like, yeah, we will come back here again. I said, actually, boys, watch how you say that. It's Ray. One of the first memories I got with you is, you and Rocky both fucked me over on that one game up there at Oklahoma City. We were playing. Actually, they're a year ahead of us, but it was an impact team, and they were some of the best fucking football
To
players.
stand
around.
corrected,
We show up, and I'm
we all fucked the team as leaders, as a group. It was a learning experience for everyone.
He had just put the bottle down an hour before the game started. Rocky didn't even show up, and I think he was at the same party.
He was still going.
Yeah, I'm out here coaching by myself. I get my ass whooped like 42-0.
I think I made it to the sideline to yell at the boys for getting beat, but that was all I could do.
And I'd already known Beth first to work and shit, and she comes walking in. Well, I never did see Ray because he was so little. And he was kind of hiding behind the stroller as she was pushing it, and I was like, did you take him, get him a nap or whatever? And Beth's all, who? And I turn around and look. About that time, Ray walks out from behind the stroller, and I see him. I said, both of them.
Never.
And then Ray's been great ever since then. I've given him a $250 putter. He's gave me shit back. He's been just one of the best friends I've ever had. Yeah. Now, anytime I call this man, he's got my back.
Apparently it didn't work today.
If you hear his name on the streets, run. He may be little, but he ain't getting his ass whooped.
Hey,
It's Frank Lucas on the streets.
I want to know what Larry had to say since he was officiating the wedding. I want to hear.
Let the pastor speak.
I want to hear this story.
Get up here and grab a seat.
I met him through Rocky. He was over here in where we're at now playing pool. And I think he had just a little bit too much to drink. And he was out here saying, well, you know what? I think I could do a backflip off that pool table. I said, do it. I think you can do it. He said, I also think I could jump up, hit the ceiling, do a backflip, and land on my feet. I said, well, do it. Rocky's over there trying to keep him from doing it. He keeps saying, no, don't let him do it. He will do it. I said, well, I want to see him do it. He's going to break his freaking neck. But that's that. And really just knowing that he's late all the time. It's about the best things I know about him.
Is that hereditary?
It's hereditary. It's passed down from generation.
That's called sleep apnea.
There's a shot that you can get, and I plan on after the wedding. I plan on getting it.
Get a double dose.
Oh, yeah, make sure to get your booster.
It comes with boosters, yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's not only him that's late all the time. He's rubbed off on her. She's late all the time.
Oh, no.
It's just,
That's allowable.
No. Don't put that fucking devil on my woman. When she's by herself, she's on time.
That's right.
But when she's rolling with me, she's like, hey, man, you want to get up? There's like 10 minutes before we're supposed to leave. And I said, man, you're a real G for letting me sleep in. You guys all want to be late? She said, well, it's fucking, there ain't no way around it now. We're all going to be late. Yeah, y'all don't put that devil on my woman.
No, I know. Sidney's a good guy.
So you met Sidney through Rocky.
Yes.
Tell us about when Rocky bought the house next to you. Just real quick. You was hoping.
Well, and that goes along with the story that when I met Sidney.
Yes.
Is Rocky's out in the front yard, just bought that house, owned his yard. And I was out there drinking beer and thought, well, I'll walk over there and say hi to him. And I said hi to him, and we got talking, shooting the shit a little bit. And I said, hey, man, if your garage door messes up, I'll have to straighten it out. We'll get it all the way down. And for God's sakes, whatever you do, don't hang a blanket up your window.
No. Be more specific on what you said.
I can't.
Yeah, say it, bro. You're on live television.
He told Rocky not to hang Pendletons in his
No dream catchers out on the porch.
No, damn real.
Larry's fucked up, man. And he's a preacher.
Yeah, then I told him. Then he brings Sidney over. We talk, and I'm sitting there thinking, God, that's a big old window. I
He's a rabbit hole.
I think I better get to know him real good. So
that was one of the, yeah. There you go.
That's hilarious, man. Hey, so I don't want to jump on anybody. Just, if you want to go next, just jump on next.
Shit, I'll go bring that shit closer.
See, man, you can't come over here.
like Will said, give me the mic.
come on over.
Tell you
What's your name? What's your
first
full
time I
name?
met. My full name
DOB
is
too.
Will.
Will, all that, Will. So, what's your first impressions of when you meet Psycho Sidney?
To be honest, I don't remember the first impressions. We kind of like just slowly met and got acquainted
Wow.
by him coaching my nephew Kobe,
Cool.
and then him just coming to Ray's and everything. I do remember him coming to Ray's, what is that, bachelor party? I was the best man for Ray's bachelor party, and we went to the strip club, and I told my wife we wasn't going.
Stop sign, red flag.
Hey. No, we can tell it. Hey, we can tell it. Shit, I'm already in trouble. Been in trouble since that day.
Statute of limitations, right? Has it been that long?
Man, I didn't even get a lap dance. I'm still in trouble for it, man. But I knew I was like, man, I should get one because I'm gonna be in trouble regardless.
How'd you get
man.
that glitter in your eye then?
Never.
It flew, the AC was flying.
What's a pasty?
They spanked it off for Ray when he was up there on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we ended up going to Vice's afterwards, and the bachelorette party ended up being there. Like they wanted to come with us because they knew we was all the fun. But my wife was fucking pissed. Like she wasn't even trying to talk to me. She was ignoring me. She was giving me the eye. And then I finally walk up to her, and Sidney just in her ear like, man, he was just doing what he had to do. He's being the best man. Like, he wasn't leaving looking at him. He didn't want to be there. Like, he just had my back to the fullest. And I just walked up and I was like, oh, that's my dog. That's my dog.
The only chance I got tonight is that right there.
Him and my Uncle Jesse was just telling my wife, like, man, you tripping, like, you got a good man. Like, you know how many girls would love to have a man like him, blah, blah. They would just hype me up.
You
to
ever
the
watch the
fullest.
clock, how the second hand just
I would
opens
just,
up? She's sitting on his bar stool, Will's sitting here, and I'm sitting here. That her legs just continue to go back towards Will, and they opened all the way up. I was like, well, there you go, buddy. There's the eclipse you want to
hey, no, but he's being dead ass serious. Like, as he's talking to her, like, I could just feel and see, like, her tension, like, being relieved. Like, she was so pissed. Like, she wanted to be so mad at me and just talk shit. But I ended up getting some that night, so, like,
Amen.
yeah, like, my dog saved me, man. Saved me and blessed me at the same time.
Rico Suave.
And then not only that, the next weekend is Ray's wedding, and he shows up late. Like y'all just talked about. I'm just letting y'all know what it is. He showed up late, we waiting on him.
He's actually not lying, because they called me and they're like, hey man, where the fuck are you at? And I had Rocky drive me out there.
I think he was asleep. I don't know what was going on.
I think I was already wasted that day.
What time's the wedding? Is it 6? You know damn good well.
Don't be late to your wedding.
Oh, we got a good joke for you.
I was just at a funeral 2 days ago. I texted Sidney. The funeral's at 12 o'clock. I texted Sidney at 12:22.
He said, we already burned this motherfucker. The wedding's over. You missed the whole ceremony.
And immediately I replied back. I said, I'm kidding, man. There's still time if you're really coming. He was in the parking lot, man, but he was 23 minutes late. Yo,
And he was a pallbearer.
He's always
he's a pallbearer.
I was the pallbearer. And when I sat down, I sat to the left where nobody was sitting, and all of a sudden I started getting text messages from my family. They said, hey man, you're supposed to be here on the very front right. I said, when the music stops and everybody quits talking, I'll move up there.
But I didn't know.
But hey, he's always in the parking lot though.
Yeah.
But 22 minutes late in the parking
Work
lot.
had called, and then I got another call from a vendor, and then, my tire was low, so I had to actually get down there and check the pressure. And
kept
one thing
my
led to the next, and then I turned around and looked at the clock. I said, well, would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
22 minutes late.
Yeah, man, I'll go real quick. Man, I started out the same way Ray did.
He showed up in a collared button-down shirt, first practice.
Hey, some people got jobs, all right? No.
I've never had a job like that, though.
He actually looked like he just came off the casting couch.
Yeah.
Hey, that's. I can see it.
Redline that shit. No. But no, seriously, I came out to practice, and you got to understand where we come from. Heston being half Mexican and my wife being full Mexican, that's the darkest thing that town's ever seen.
Yeah, man.
So we come over here, first football practice, and we're the minority. And it's crazy. I mean, we're looking out, and next thing I know, got Sidney and Rocky walking up to me, and they ain't little by any means. And at the time, I think I'm pretty tough shit, right?
They're huge.
And Rocky comes up, and he's like, I'm just here to tell you, this is our quarterback over there pointing at somebody else. This is our running back. We win games, we crack heads. If your son, whatever, we're gonna run his ass off like he's just a pussy. And I'm going like, well, damn, I said he ain't even fucking laced anything up yet. So we go out there, and Sidney's getting on his ass, Rocky's getting on his ass, and then we make it to pads. And first at pads, he lines up against Zay. Now, if any of y'all know Zay, so he smacks Heston. Heston comes up crying or whatnot, and Rocky walks over to me immediately. That's his one. I said, what do you mean that's his one? He's like, well, you can only cry once. If he cries again, he's fucking off the team. So I'm going like, damn, these guys are hardcore,
Good cop, bad cop shit, huh?
The more I was around that team and the closer we got to the season and everything, the way that I coached in Hinton with getting kids rear ends, it's kind of looked down upon over there. And then I come over here, and exactly the coaching style that I'm trying to bring is what they're doing. The way I see it is, as a father, as a coach, as someone that wants better for my family, my kids or whatnot, I'm seeing Rocky, I'm seeing Ray, I'm seeing Sid, Tanner. They're getting in the middle of my kid's shit when he messes up.
Amen.
And I love it. I love it. And that's why I'm here. That's why these are my homies.
Amen.
Because we have the same parenting style, the same coaching style, and I love every minute of it. So that's my story with these guys.
Even though Rocky slanted Heston a couple times, I've seen him and I said, that's the kid I want to be my quarterback. I'm going to teach him. I'm going to show him the way.
But
Rocky said, actually, he's never played football before.
actually, at the end of the day, I told Sidney, said, we're going to win championship this year. Heston's going to have to be our quarterback. We're going to have to make it happen
Oh,
somehow.
stop. All right, Dirty Dave, you're Dirty Dave, you are up.
And he wants to take one of those, please. He wants to take full.
No, actually, if we want to talk about Dallas Cowboys Stadium,
Yeah, one quick story first.
Go for it.
We go down to Dallas Cowboys Stadium that first year. Ray's not an official coach. So me and Ray are sitting on the 20-yard line, front row at Dallas Cowboys Stadium, watching our boys score touchdowns, getting drunk as a skunk, drinking Coors Original, $13 a beer, whatever they call us, loving every minute of it. You can't buy that, man. Your kid is scoring touchdowns in Dallas Cowboys Stadium in your front row. It's the best feeling in the world. We look down, we got Sid and Rock, and they're just pissed off because they ain't up there with us enjoying
Drinking. But in all honesty, though, his son came out of his shell down there at a NFL stadium. First time we ever put him in a quarterback. You know, we've been using him as a wing back.
we keep using that word, loosely.
And doing things with him. And, you know, we've talked about it. So Sidney's like, I got a plan. He puts him in a quarterback. Heston got some wheels, man. He's going to smoke every kid on the field. And I don't care where you're at. Like, it's going to happen. You can beat Oklahoma, Texas, California, whatever. This boy got some wheels. And Sidney lets him score. And then Sidney lets him score again and again and again. And finally, I tell Sidney, I said, hey, bro.
Motherfucker scored 13 touchdowns.
I think his confidence is built, bro. Like, he's there. Like, he's there. Let one of these other kids score for a minute. Sidney finally lets Kobe get another score and Ben get a score. All of a sudden, they come up to us and say, hey, you guys are the best team here. We're going to bump y'all up at 8th grade. And y'all got to play the best team in the 8U team. And we're like, okay. So we play a hand-picked team from El Paso.
We scored on him.
And Heston, his boy, had so much confidence in this game. First time I ever played quarterback, he didn't take the ball and go to the house with it, make people look stupid why he did it. He's been there ever since.
Dirty Dave, I want to hear about how you first met Psycho Sid.
What brought you into the family?
Hey, nobody in my family has ever called me Psycho Sid. The first time I met Derek, he tried to fight me. And then a few times after that, next thing I know, I'm getting called Psycho Sid. So that's how he calls me that. He's been doing it since I was just now getting.
We've always called him Sid Vicious.
It's not my turn yet, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So the reason, or how I met, is Larry, my buddy over here. We've been friends for a while. Of course, he lives here. We got the next door guy that's got the crooked door and whatnot. But us three start hanging out, you know, having a good time, and this big fucking Indian coming in here. I'm like, what the hell we got coming in here? You know?
Would you look at this?
Not knowing, everybody says he's big Indian. Some bitch got a soft heart. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, let's cry.
Well, I ain't gonna cry. Not that. That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
But
When I give him
They don't let his hair down, does it?
we started hanging out. Start hitting them.
That's how we trapped the Indian, Larry. You don't want my hair down.
And hanging out. And every time we, you know, hung out with everybody, and we hung out, you know, a couple times together, it clicked. We hung out together. We went to PBR, had a little fun.
Sunday fun day
Sunday fun day.
turned into Tuesday fuck up.
And Tuesday fuck up. And sometimes in your life or whatnot that you can really call a best friend. I've got a group right here that I can call my best friends.
Amen.
That it's a good group, and I'm glad to be part of the wedding. And I'm glad that you invited me to be part of your wedding. Never ever thought I would. I've only known you for just a few years. And Yeah. Your kids, you know,
Dirty Dave does take care of my kids.
everybody, no, I'm just saying, everybody jokes and everybody says, hey, I'm dirty. Well, even like the old kids, all kids, you say, hey, dirty. I mean, if somebody's ever called me by my first name, I don't know what I'd say. Or, I don't know if I acknowledge it.
My kids actually call
David?
you. My kids actually call you Dirty Dan, and they call him Larry the Lobster.
I'm glad that I've met Sidney. He's a good guy, good father. Couldn't be more blessed to be in a wedding.
Thank you, brother.
You bet.
Hey man, we'll shit, Dirty Dave. Jesse, what's up, bro? I know you got some stories, man.
Our story. Yeah, so Dino. You sang here with Dino and Rocky all the time.
Dino, they were classmates.
Dino and Rocky, yeah.
No, Dino was a year ahead of me.
I didn't know how you guys were in Reno, weren't you?
No, we still in
Dino was
Gary at the time.
2005.
Jesse and me and Jesse about the same age, but I think him and Dino graduated the same year or something like that.
Dumb as rocks. Took me 6 years to graduate high school.
I was friends with Jesse's older brothers, and Jesse and Dino clicked from jump. You know, we all hung out together here in El Reno, and then Jesse came to a few parties in Gary, came to the house a few times. I'm sure Sidney ran across him there, but
Now, the first time I'll tell it when it gets back around me, I'll tell how I met Jesse.
My stories with Sid are X-rated and incriminating. I think, moral football is where we got together, came together, and that's where I really knew Sid as a great coach. You know, him and Rock after Marcus. So I think football is where I think it really began.
Yeah.
Getting into golf and our good buddy, rest in peace, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Rest in peace, Gary.
Yeah. You know, I think that's where our friendship really started, is with Gary bringing us together and hanging out, having some beers, drinking, having a good time. Too many stories to even narrow it down to. I think every time we get together, it's a great time. It's never a dull moment. So, like 30 said, glad to be part of it. Tomorrow's going to be an epic day and a big day for Sid. So, congratulations to Sid taking that big step.
I don't know,
scared.
man. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm getting cold feet over here, man.
So, yeah, I think that's
what
where
do
it
you
started,
mean?
football. So, I mean, I think all our kids are in football and play football. And congratulations, kid. Love you, bro.
Amen.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Hell yeah.
Hey, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, one question. Is this wedding for Taryn or for you?
Thank you for a lot of it.
I know what I'm talking about. But like at the end of the day, it's for Sidney. He's been the bride of this bitch since it started. He got the good old bachelor party.
He did it right. That is for sure.
That's epic. We did do it right.
Which
And now I'm just giving him shit, man. It's
I just want to say, before we get to the Langston, I think the man of the hour here. I just want to say, man, Sidney, I told you one time on the phone before, I always judge a man by the company he keeps.
Yeah. I don't let anybody into my circle that doesn't belong there.
Because honestly, I've never met a person that I didn't judge by the company he keeps. If I don't know you, I judge you by who you're with. I've always done that. If it's been since I was little, midterm, army life, I've always done it that way. You know, I didn't know a lot of these people. Some of them I knew, I didn't know that I knew them. Cindy's a good dude. I'm really glad he knows y'all. I think the most important thing right now is for us to realize he has an old ass son right here, bro. He has an old ass son. You know, so no matter whatever happens between here on out, this motherfucker right here is bonded to Sidney.
That's our boy.
Yep.
And that is our boy as well. I'd like to know if there's anything you want to say to your dad, to your mom, or Taryn, any way you want to talk about it, brother. Anything you want to say, bro.
Langston, lay it on the table, bro. Tell us what you feel.
Don't be shy, brother.
What's y'all's
We
question?
want to hear some good shit.
Well, what's the first time you met Sidney?
my question is like growing up. Be honest with you, all of us have came from what you call broken homes. We haven't had our mom and our dad in our life, and well, we had them in our life, but not in the same home. And you're the same way. You've been fortunate enough. Your mama still be in your life, and you got
And your dad.
Taryn. You know, that's your dad's soon-to-be wife. going to be in your life, and they take great care of you. Your mom does what she has to do. So Taryn, as a stepmom, how does that affect you? You know,
Where's that lay on your heart at?
Taryn's been a really good mom, and I appreciate her a lot.
Tell us one of the most badassest times you've ever had with your dad.
And I want to add to that.
No,
do you think Taryn can take your dad?
She is not scared. She is not scared.
Now tell us the most just jaw-dropping time that you can ever imagine your dad, whether if you was 3 years old or whether you was fucking 15 years old.
Hey man, at the end of
One
the day,
good story.
at the end of the day, you don't have to say shit you don't want to say, right? We all understand that.
We get it.
But if you had to say one thing to Sidney right now, one thing to Taryn, what would it be?
Thank you for raising me right and keeping me to not get in so much trouble. And all of y'all.
No, man, I understand.
So you'd say you was successfully raised, right?
Do you love your life?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
My dad's pushed me in sports.
All right, here's a real question. Do you think you're at the size and the age where you could take him
Oh,
yet?
yeah.
Yeah?
You're full of
Folding.
We're recording that too.
Maybe when he gets a little,
You're so full of shit,
Maybe
man.
when he gets a little bit older, you take it easy on him.
so you know you only got a couple years, and he's gonna get you outside and let you have it, right?
If you just so randomly happen to whoop Sid,
that's all I need.
if you randomly happen to whoop your dad, then you got all of us coming next.
Hey, seeing the way that you was raised and seeing this friend group that Sidney keeps, what are you gonna do when you're out on your own?
Work hard and
Play hard.
be successful.
Amen. We had to
I'm gonna ask you a
fucking.
question right now, Langston. What grade are you gonna be in?
I'll be a sophomore.
A sophomore. And what are you gonna do next year?
I'm still
that
thinking
bitch?
about it.
You still thinking about it?
I'm not.
Let me ask you something. Or I'm not gonna ask you something. I'm gonna tell you something. You have all your life to work. You have 3 more years to play any sport you want to play. To be the person you want to become in high school.
Yes, sir.
So after that, if you want to go to work, that's your choice. I made that choice. Maybe been the wrong one.
I'd hire
It
you.
might have been the right one. You know, I don't know. But at the end of the day, think about it hard before you make that choice right now.
Might regret it
I
later.
think Devin would hire you.
I want to hire you.
He wants to hire you, but he knows you can do better though, right? So if you want to win state, check it out. Move that. Hey, tell the girls when